Hi guys, and hello from the hilltop. I'm Waxahachie Blue, and I want to welcome you to my channel, The Plateau Perfectionist. Today's video is my March 2021 plan with me in my Amanda Rach Lee bullet journal. So the theme for this particular month is orange. I'm going by my created color challenge, in which each month for this particular year will be a designated color. And then I also wanted to do very similar to what I did last March. I like doing, for lack of a better term, I like to do a minimalist March. So yes, I kept with the color scheme of orange, but I also wanted to go very minimal in the extra details. So if you watched my last month, my February, which was the color red, I did a lot of drawing, and I did get quite a few compliments on my art, which thank you to those who left me comments. I always love comments. This time, since I was going very minimal, I had some orange washi tapes and stickers that I really wanted to incorporate, and so I just decided to kind of keep it very simple and minimal with just stickers and washi tape and just a little bit of that. So for a quote, I found this particular quote on Pinterest, and it's be enough for yourself first, the rest of the world can wait. And I wanted to kind of keep the text very simple and consistent throughout the entire spread, so I went with this almost not quite Times New Roman, but very typewriter-style lettering. And I tried to keep that through the entirety of my spreads. And as for a title page, I didn't actually do a title page for this particular month. It felt a little extra for me, so I decided to just go ahead and use my calendar sticker, which, as you can see, I oopsed and it's laying, and this thing was sticky, did not want to come up and fix, and just use that as my calendar page as well. To be honest, when it comes to a calendar spread, I don't actually use my calendar spread very often, so I just went ahead and went with this. Now, something I did find is I found some black washi tape. I actually have two different kinds, one with a border and then one that's just plain. I wanted to use one of them, so I went with the one with a border, and I found that my white jelly roll pen works really well on writing on this. You just have to kind of be patient and take your time with the lettering. You may have to go over it just a little bit if you want to make it a little thicker. I believe my jelly roll is a 08, but I thought it made a really interesting contrast to have the black washi intermixed with all of this orange coloring. As for the markers, that's what I'm looking for, markers, that I used for this particular spread, I used a yellow Tombow, I can't remember the number, but I will include that in the description, as well as a Kuretake dot marker in the, not the vermilion, that's my mod liner, but the orange color. I will link that below. And then my zebra mod liner in the vermilion color. So in short, orange and orange. I also did include a little bit of green and then a little bit of brown, just because a lot of the stickers that I was using had a very fall vibe to them, and I just thought that they looked a little pretty cohesive, especially with just a little bit of an accent here and there. I did include just a couple of doodles, mostly just dots and zigzags and a couple of leaves here and there, but that's pretty much all the doodling that I did. So something that I did want to include that's a little different from my norm is I use a budget tracker just about every month, which is the page on the right. But I have noticed that I don't seem to have as much extra room, per se, to really show what is required spending versus frivolous or extra spending. So I decided to include a new tracker, my spending tracker, which separates required spending such as bill payments and things of that nature to extra spending, which I am trying to not overdo. Again, this is a minimalist spread, so I kept it very, very simple. I actually think I misspelled the word frivolous, so I went ahead and after I got everything written out with the day's T-chart style here, I went and actually took a piece of the black washi tape, covered over it, and then wrote different words. At least, like I said, I'm pretty sure I misspelled the word frivolous. It's one of those few words that I second guess myself when I spell. I actually really enjoy spelling and written word and all that good stuff, but every so often there's that one word that you like, did I spell that right? Am I sure? I don't know. So I covered it up. So yeah, basically the T-chart is the required on the left, any extra spending or want spending will be on the right, and then it's 1 through 31. So I can kind of see what is all of this, compare how much of it is actual required spending and how much is extra that I really don't need to be spending, but I ended up spending. In the meantime, on the right page is my budget tracker / rolling total, because as I've mentioned, that's how I do my budget, is I do a rolling total for all of my accounts, and it helps me just stay consistent on what the current balance is for each of my accounts. I do have a credit card and a couple of bank accounts, and that's how that particular tracker works. And these again, very minimal. I did add just a little bit of color with highlighting some of the lines in either the yellow or the dot marker, orange dot marker, and then just kept on rolling. So for the next trackers, I actually decided to include a new tracker called a fasting tracker. For those of you who don't know, I do keto as well as intermittent fasting, and I do have a fasting tracker that I keep on my phone, and it does record the dates and how long I fasted, etc., but it doesn't really show me in a more visible way. It just kind of keeps track as it's supposed to. So I decided to, this is actually based off of a sleep tracker. A lot of people will write, all the hours and take up the whole page with writing hours. I'm lazy and I didn't want to do that. So basically, I just kind of made this use again the black washi to make my header, and then I did 1 through 31. Oh, excuse me. Down the left side, and then at the top I wrote out the hours. Noon is in the middle, midnight is on the right hand side of the page, and then as my month progresses, I will keep a pen with me and just highlight the hours that I fasted to kind of keep a better track of how I am doing fasting wise. In case anybody cares, I usually do a 24 ratio, so 20 hours fasting, 4 hours is an eating window, which I do have my lunch at noon, and then I usually have dinner around 4 or 5 o'clock, with the occasional 24-hour fasts throughout the week. Sadly, I am still not losing weight, but at the very least, this is a step in the right direction on keeping track of how I'm progressing in my fasting, and maybe hopefully squeeze in a 48-hour fast somewhere in there. So as I mentioned in my previous March, I did, again, very minimal. Something that I also did in March was, instead of a mood tracker, I did a word of the day. So basically every single day, instead of coloring something, I put a word to describe how I felt for the day. So tired, or frivolous, eccentric, And I tried to do a different word for every single day. So I've wanted to do something very similar to that, and that is where this particular spread came from. Again, I just wrote out 1 through 31 with at least a little bit of space to write, just a single word to describe how I felt for the day. I don't mind mood trackers, I really don't, but they can get a little tedious from time to time, whereas writing a single word without having to find the correct marker or something of that nature just seems to work a little better for me. Like I mentioned, I enjoy words, and even if they're misspelled, it's my tracker, so who cares? I also included some extra stickers here just to fill up the little bit of extra space, as well as some of the washi tape. By the way, in case you care, most of the stickers that I have came from AliExpress. On to... oh my goodness, what did I do? I think that was the end of my trackers. Now it was on to my actual weeks. Yes. So the first week, I decided to go with a column style 2-page spread. And this was just kind of because I wanted a little bit of a change up to it. I wrote out Monday through Thursday, and I wrote out the Monday, and I didn't like how much space it took. So I decided to take some black washi and make that a little more designated for the columns. I actually think that this particular style came out really cute. And I did not use it in the rest of my week spreads, but I may end up going back and doing something very similar for where I have the dates. And you'll just have to follow me on Instagram at the Plateau Perfectionist with underscores in between each word to see if I actually do that. Come on, people. I do this for fun, and if you want to find me on Instagram, by all means, do so. But if not, at the very least, hopefully you're enjoying the YouTube video. Like I said, I went with columns here, and then at the bottom, I went ahead and did very similar to what I did in January with just kind of filling the space with a collage of stickers. And yeah. Fun fact though, I had actually planned on using some very specific stickers for the bottom half of this spread, hence why I did the spread the way I did. But the problem is the stickers that I was originally planning to use were the wrong kind. I still don't quite know what kind of stickers these are. I again found them on AliExpress, and they're almost like decal stickers, in that they're in between two sheets, almost similar to what you would use, kind of like a Cricut machine kind. You're supposed to like rub them real good, and they're supposed to stick, and they didn't, because apparently I didn't do it right. So in the end, I decided not to use them. I did try to test at least one in like the far corner, if you'll see it here for like a split second, and then I covered it up with another sticker because it did not do like I wanted it to. So I ended up going with the collage method for the bottom half of this particular spread. I still think it came out absolutely adorable. I had a box of these little fox stickers, as well as a box of the botanical ones that you've seen me use, and a little box of these green and orange style boho hygge stickers. That's not what they are, but they're very, fall comfort chairs and bicycles with baskets and anyway. Long story short, those are the stickers that I ended up using. I think it came out wonderfully, and I if you feel inspired, then my job is done. As for the rest of the spreads that I went ahead and did for March, I actually went with a week per page spread. So instead of having a week for 2 pages, I went with just, 1 page per week. The reason I did this was actually 2 reasons. One, again, I'm trying to go for kind of a minimalist looking spread. I'm not trying to go overly doodle heavy, sticker heavy. While yes, I have a lot of stickers and I'm more than happy to use them. Again, just trying to keep it simple. Everybody should be able to, well, not everybody, but you know what I mean. If you were so inclined to want to recreate my spreads, I do try to make them somewhat recreatable. Even my Chinese lanterns from last month, they are relatively simple to draw, and they kind of almost look like Amanda Rachley's hot air balloons. But again, I digress. Bullet journaling is meant to be fun. I wanted to go with a very minimalist looking spread, simple. I wanted to go with a simple spread, and so I created these, and I think that's just enough space for me to write what I need to write for my weeks. Now, something that I didn't particularly plan, because I wasn't thinking when I decided to do this, I forgot to make space for my habit and weight trackers that I like to include on my weekly spreads on each day. So you'll see all of my washi stuff is all shoved kind of to the right. I ended up moving several pieces of washi, as well as the little fox sticker and the mushroom sticker, while I put the boxes on the far right hand side. It's my own fault, that's what I get, but in case you do decide to recreate these and you want to do a weekly, daily, whatever this is kind of spread, oh, good heavens, remember to save room for the boxes. There you go. Remember to save room for the boxes. Anyway, I did cut a little bit out because you don't need to see me watch or make boxes over and over and over again. So this was week 2 and week 3, and I actually did the exact same spread for week 4 and the rest of week 5. So, fun fact, because I love my fun facts. One of the reasons that I went with the color challenge was because, again, I had so many, washies and stickers and all that good loveliness. But every so often, I will pick up periodic things that I'm like, oh, I can use this in my bullet journal. One of which was actually something that went really well with this particular color idea was this mandala piece here. It was actually the cover piece from a thank you card that I had received from a coworker for something I honestly can't remember, but I absolutely loved the pattern on the front, and since it was just so orange, I had to put it in this spread. And since the last week in March only has 3 days if you go by Monday, I had just enough space to include this mandala card piece, and it worked. I don't know about y'all, but every so often you have that little bit that you want to put in your spread, and it just seems to fit so perfectly. That was this piece for me. And yes, I do realize that I wrote week 3-4 when it's actually 4-5. I did catch that. Don't hurt on me too much. In the meantime, like I said, I just added a few stickers here and there, some marker pieces, a little bit of washi, just kind of made it fun, fill the space. And which is the entire purpose of a bullet journal, is to have fun as you create things. Or at least it is my book. Get it? Bullet journal? Book? Anyway. And then of course my kurodake dots, because you gotta have dots. It's a dot marker, right? Anyway, I'll meet you in the runway through. Alright guys, I want to thank you for watching my video today. Please like, subscribe, by all means leave me a comment. To my new subscribers, I want to thank you so much, and if you haven't already, please do so. Also, you can find me on my Instagram, the Platter Perfectionist, with underscores in between each word. I'm also on Facebook by the same name, minus the underscores. And then I also have a website, theplatterperfectionist.com, where I'm currently writing a blog about my life so you can get to know me better. But in the meantime, I want to thank you. You guys are awesome, and I will see you next month.